Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is just a quick interim video on the Terminator series about some of the upgrades and weathering that I'm doing and have done. Now these came in issue 2, which, well, you get one in issue 2. I got 2 versions of it because I subscribed to it and couldn't wait and had to rush out and buy one. So basically I'm just going to show you the difference between the two. Isn't overly apparent. The one on the right here is the one that I've slightly improved. It's not wildly different. Basically I've polished it up a bit and done a panel line to the inset pieces. I'm going to give you an idea as to what I've been doing, and if you want to do something similar, what you'll need. Basically the main polishing, I've just been using Brasso, which is a wadding polish, which basically ends up looking like that after you've used it a little bit. And you can just polish away. You can see it leaves a residue on there. You can spend as long as you like or as little as you like just going over. Try not to go all in one direction, so change it up, go in different directions or little circles, and that will just bring up a shine without any real effort. I did on the faceplate spend a while with wet and dry paper and sandpaper and sanding sticks and everything else to get them looking shinier, which, yes, it looks shinier than the other bit, but it took so much longer and without any real overly noticeable difference. So once you've polished that for a bit, you can just polish it up again with a soft cloth, and you'll see that the bit that I've done there is quite a lot shinier than, say, other bits around. You can see the difference between, say, different areas. So basically just spend some time, give it a quick polish. I'm going to put that away because it dries up if you leave it out of the tin, but that bit's good for a few more uses, shall we say. The other thing was panel lining, using Terminator panel line accent colour black. It's not available in the UK for some reason. I think there's some import something, but you can get it through eBay and that sort of thing. Basically it's a very, very thin paint. If you just touch it, it floods around the area. So I mean, this line here, for instance, if I touch in the middle, hopefully you can see it sort of shoot along to the edges. If you get a nice big blob on your brush that comes with it, so you'll see it flood through and around everywhere. Just touch it in a few places. You might need to go back in and give it another coat after a while, and if you do get any that's, say, in the wrong place, just use a soft cloth or a tissue. You can just wipe it away without any problems at all. So that was basically what I did with this. I think actually I'm going to add a little bit more of this on the inside of this bit here, where I didn't add any before, but that just adds another point of interest, another line of shadow that would be there in the real thing. Oh, there you go, big blob, but it all seeps away all over the place. So I'm going to do that for the other bit down there as well. That's a bit too big blob, that, so there we go. So yeah, that just clean up a little bit, adds a little bit to that. So that's the main body panels are going to do that. As I say, that's the original faceplate and the polished one with some panel lining in there as well. That's that bit. Next up, what we've got what's been already done. Let me put that aside so it doesn't go everywhere. Couple of things to do on this. The teeth need darkening down a bit and weathering. To do that, I'm going to try just a non-oil wash. Basically it's just, well, why talk about it when I can show you. It's getting a brush full of this non-oil and basically painting it almost all over, but concentrating mainly obviously on the joins the seams and across the top. You'll see it sort of flood into the areas there. And again, once it's on there, mainly wipe it off, and it should just leave some darkening in some places more than others, just in the grooves, as it were. I'm going to try a couple of different colours in that. I've got the Reichland Flesh shade, which is another shade of the similar stuff, but a more sort of reddy brown colour, which I'm hoping will add a bit more sort of flesh tone. Actually, I'm going to cover that over all of them and then wipe it away. And just to give them a bit more sort of humanity, if you like. I know it's not right because it's a robot, but it needs a little bit more fleshing up. So that I will go in and get rid of some of the heavier bits. Well, I don't want it particularly that heavy, but Arnie does have a gap down the front of his teeth, so the bigger black bit in the middle there is not out of place. So that's that. That obviously needs doing on the lower jaw as well. Might need another coat. I'll see how it goes later on. Maybe a little bit of detail work and across the top. The other thing that isn't quite right on this kit, but should be, these 4 little bits either side. I'm going to be painting them in silver. Just basically just carefully brushing on over those. I'm not going to do that on camera here because I need to get in quite close to make sure I don't get it everywhere else. Although if you do, you can just go over it with black again. So I'm going to do that off camera and then come back and show you what it looks like. And there you go, I've just done the one just so you can compare the two. I haven't been worried about going right the way down to the plastic. It's more about the top, because obviously when the faceplate is on, you can't see around the sides anyway, and it just adds that extra. It's not actually on properly, but that's not the point. A little bit of focus around the eyes there as well. So I'm going to do the other one. The final modification that I can do so far is going to be to get rid of this flat edge here. Normal teeth and gums have got sort of ridges, so I'm going to put a couple of raised indentations like this sort of size, but like that sort of style, but not that size obviously. Just a little bit of shaping to there, probably 4 little indentations at the top there. Just going to be using the side of a drill to do that, but when I get that set up I'll video that and show you that. So yeah, I'm going to get this painted and then get ready to do that for you. So here we have it, 4 little indentations cut out there. I've been back in and polished them up again. I've added a little bit more black to it, which still needs to dry, and then I'll give it a better polish again. But I'm happy with how they make it look. It's a lot more realistic. It might not be screen accurate, but it's more realistic than the stock straight line. So that's that. Next up is the piston, which is metal, but has got nasty sort of polish lines, seam lines and things down there. So I'm going to spend a bit of time again just with some paper and then polish to polish it up. The rod bit has got one line down there, which is not so bad, but the main body obviously is the most important looking bit. Obviously this can be positioned in various rotational, I believe. I can't remember now when I put it together. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can undo that again. Yeah, that'll go in any way round. So you can obviously pick the best side when I know which is going to be the front. We'll have a nice looking side at the front rather than having a seam down the middle. But I'm sure I can do something with this. So I'm going to go in again with some paper and some polish and see if we can't make that look a little bit nicer. And there we have it. It's not perfect. There's still some marks and scratches on it, but it's much better than it was. I had to give it all a bit of a polish up because it's basically some of it was too shiny. It will obviously be slightly weathered and everything when it goes together and when it's all been put as one, but I'm happy with that. It's better than it was, which is my main mantra for most things. So that is the end of this, really. Just a quick sort of modifications and updates video. I won't be doing one for every issue, but I think I'll do the normal build issue as is, and then do an occasional modifications and updates version. So hopefully you'll agree with me in that looks better than that did. So it will all need sort of cleaning and polishing once it's all assembled anyway. But thanks for watching. Stick with me. Stay tuned for the next in the normal build series, and I say whenever the next occasional modification video needs to pop up. So thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.